Good morning and welcome to Tyrolit Tool School, our Christmas edition. Today, one of the things we're going to discuss is the tuning of skis. So, see you in a bit. And welcome back. So today Christmas is getting close, what means that also in the Alps, in the mountains, we start to have snow. Snow means that the skiing season is beginning. And what you need to do then is you buy a new pair of skis where you have to tune the edges to get them tuned ready for skiing, or if you already have skis, to get them ready. Clean them, get them ready, sharpen them, tune them ready for the slopes. Now, the first thing you need to do on the skis is you have to inspect them for any damage, especially on those edges here that we have. You need to go over there and let's go there. Yeah, there we go. There we have small damages. That can be a stone, something that you went over that actually gave a small dent in there where you need to get that prepared. Now, in order to prepare that, in order to do that, like there, if you go over there, you feel that there's something not right, like small dents or a small lump that is in there, which basically comes from touching a stone or something, or another ski, for instance, where you need to tune it out. Now, in order to work on that, what do we have? We have a complete set from Tyrolit Life, a complete service station. There we go. Service station is basically what we have. A service station that includes everything to get working on those skis. Now, the first thing that we need to do is that those small damages that we have there, for that we have this combination file. This combination file that we're going to be using to rectify those small damages. That combination file has a fine side and a coarse side. So in order to work with that, just a little bit of water, dump it in there, the other side, up, done, and then slowly find that spot again. There we go. On top of it, go over that, and also on the layer with the coating. Light pressure on that, and the damage that was there before is now gone. You don't feel that anymore. That is gone. So this is the first thing you need to do, is check those edges on any damage and rectify that. So that's already a good thing to do, a good thing to have. The second thing you need to do is, when you start working on those edges, is you want to have a certain angle. In order to actually cut into the ice or cut into the snow. That angle will vary depending on what you basically, what kind of ski that you have. If it's a ski for fast going downhill, or if it's for a carving ski where you go down, or it's freestyle skis where you go off slope in deep snow, depends what kind of angle you want to have on that edge. Now, what happens is, if you do that regularly, that the plastic layer that you have on the side there will stand in the way of getting or creating that edge. This layer will be too far up and you need to remove that. In order to remove that, we have in our assortment, we have what is called the prepare set, small prepare set, which is basically, there we go, prepare set, which is basically this tool. So this tool is a combination tool with two knives on there that are going to remove the plastic and a little bit of the aluminum line that you have there as well. So you can actually adjust the knives to how far you need to be away from the cutting edge, and also a small screw that actually will guide you onto the height or how low you need to go to remove that layer. So this is basically what is called a sidewall cutter. The sidewall cutter, you have to adjust according to what you have on there in order to remove that plastic layer. So in order that after that you have this, the room, the possibility to adjust your angle of that cutting edge on your ski. So I've set it up before, so to save us a little bit of time, put it nicely on there, support it on that side quite well against this, the side with the coating, like this, and that no force, no pressure, no leaning onto that, just lightly pull it back in this direction, move forward again, and you can see the things coming off from the plastic that I'm removing. There we go, there's a better example. There you see. And by doing that, we create the space, having a look, yeah, we're creating the space in order to create the right angle on the ski. That's essential to that. You create space in order to create that right angle on that ski. Because normally, this is normally what you have, is a 90-degree angle. That's basically what you have. But you want to modify that a little bit. And you're going to bring that down. That can be to 88, 89, 87, 86 degrees. 86 degrees is a very, very sharp angle. That is, for instance, if you have a ski for going downhill, like a competition ski, that's basically what you want to have. You want to have a sharp angle on that to immediately when you start using that, the ski will react immediately to that. You will have good grip on snow, on ice. It will help you on that. It is for speed. So in this case, we're not going to go that steep. We're going to work with a tool. This is in the set, where we have the tool to hold the different files. Is basically, yeah, there we go. It's an 87-degree angle, as you can see, which is written on there. So you have different degrees of angles depending on what kind of ski that you have to work on that. This is basically what we have there. So the first thing that we have is basically the file, the metal file that we're going to be using. The metal file, as you can see, I'm going to try to show you that, there's also an arrow. There we go, there's an arrow, there's direction. Pay attention to that in order to get the right result, that the file actually works properly. Normally you would say, I'm going to put the file on like this, but make a small angle to get rid of the chips that you are creating with the file. There we go. Bit nice, Johan. There we go. So put it on there again, not too much pressure. This nicely against the coated side of the ski, and then we're going to start. And you can actually see the small chips falling off. I'm a bit controlling my work here. So, and we start, yeah, you can feel this now. You start to feel that sharp edge that is being generated. So that's basically what you want to have, is that sharp edge that is being there with the right angle. Now, the second step is to go do exactly the same thing, but then with the fine file. So still a metal file, but in a finer grit size or a finer cut, in order to refine what we just done before. Yeah, there we go. This is basically very, very nice. You can also see the small metal strips that have been removed from the edge. Now, this is the first two steps. Third step on this one, on this kind of ski, is we have also what is called a elastic file, an elastic abrasive. There is a bit of elasticity in there. This is what we're going to use to finish this part up now. So in order to use that, again, you put it in a little bit of water before we put it on the tool. There we go. Up now. And then same procedure. Go over that to refine that edge that you're going to be using. There we go. So what is possible now is that on this side there might be some small metal chips that have been created by the files, and we want to remove those. So again, we go to our combi file, this one that we have, the combi file with the coarse and the fine side on there. There you can see that as well. So that, make it wet again, and then we go on the coating side, we go very lightly across that to remove those small chips. The reason why is if they are left on there, they will have an influence on the performance of the ski on snow. So you want to get rid of that. That's absolutely essential. So this is basically what we do, what we consider as getting your skis ready for the new skiing season. The final thing that you might do on that one as well is we have, again, is this soft elastic sanding block in a way. So this material, this we're going to be used for breaking the edges at the front of the ski and at the back. Why? Because there it just needs to be a little bit less sharp. The reason why is because that they are not too aggressive when you start turning, that they don't dive into the snow. So just quickly go over that like that. That's already more than enough. And on the front, there we go. And we're good on that one. So this is basically what we have in Tyrolit Live as a set for tuning your skis. The set is available in the shops. You can order that online, and it's something where you would be surprised how many of those sets are sold, how many people are really themselves taking care of their skis themselves. So getting them ready, sharpening and all that, it's what they like to do. So it's impressive, it's quite cool. Now, I know this is a very short introduction on that. So there are a couple of videos available on internet with our colleague and friend Matthias Hounholder. If you are interested in that, let me know. I'll send you the link to the videos where, according to the different ski types, he does the whole procedure. He explains the whole thing in a very, very good way. It is in German, but nowadays you can find translations very, very easily. So, but it's very well explained. He really does that in a very, very good way. So that is available. You can have a look at that in order to do this in a very good way. So that's the first thing that I wanted to show you today. The second thing that we need to have, I know we've done this already last year, but this is something else. We have a sledge, but not just any. This is professional stuff. I'm going to try to put it there that I don't have any accidents. This is the professional stuff. So you can see that we need to clean. Are we doing it? There we go. There we go. This is a good one. Where you need to clean this. This is ugly. That needs to be gone, because this will actually slow you down. And you do want to go down as an F1 pilot or down those slopes with a sledge like this. This is good stuff. So what are we using? We have hand sanding pads. The very normal stuff that we have in our range. So this is a very fine one that you can use in order to clean that up. As you can see, that goes very quickly, very easy. Now, if you see or feel like, nah, that's not doing it as it should be, it's too much rust on there, then you could go for the darker one, the black one, which is a silicon carbide, a bit more aggressive, a bit more bite to it. So take the black one and you go over that and you do exactly the same thing, and that will actually remove everything. And after that, there we go, look at that. It feels soft, rust is gone, put on a bit of wax and you're ready. You are ready to start going down. That is now, in comparison to what it was before, this is absolutely great. So this is fun stuff. This is good stuff. Last year, we used an axe to go and chop down our Christmas tree. Now I know not everybody will use an axe, so what we're gonna use now is a saw, a normal saw, but like a lot of things, those saws are rusty, they're not used very often, and if you start working with this will not work that great because well, look at that. The rust is gonna stop going nicely through the wood. You want to clean that up. You want to have it nice, smooth. So what are we gonna do is, we're gonna try to, without damaging the teeth, we're going to try to clean that up. In order to do that, we're going to use our new Cerabond-X unitized disc for the angle grinder. So with new, I mean it's a ceramic grain that we're using. So I'll try to work on that part there. Ceramic grain, so it has a bit of bite to it. It's not the hardest one we have. It's not the hardest one we have. Medium grit size in order to remove the rust on that part. Low speed is absolutely recommendable. Low speed, you don't want to go too fast, and you're not going to damage the teeth of the saw. Like what you see on the bottom here, there's just dust. You can remove that like that. There we go. Look, all the rust is gone. This is going to go much smoother through the wood than it used to do before. So this is the small thing to repair, clean up your saw in order to cut down your Christmas tree for this year. So that's already cool. So we have the sledge, we have the saw for cutting down a tree. Now, I know last year we've shown you the axe, and I think it's an amazing axe. So an amazing axe, I mean, it looks absolutely nice. Now I want to actually make it look nicer. And what I mean by that is, you are aware that I do travel quite a bit, and sometimes I come in contact with interesting people. So at some point I was talking to the guy that working with the abrasives, and he's talking about what he does privately on metal work. And I said he was very interested, or in a club around Vikings. And okay, so they have knives and swords and axes. And they want to have them very nice looking, good looking. So they actually polish them. So we have an axe here that has this specific surface that you see there, that I don't want to change that. I want to keep this as it is. So I'm not going to use an abrasive to start on that. With an abrasive, I mean the surface conditioning disc that you can use to prepare your surface in order to get to a next step for mirror finishing. So that I'm not going to use. That I could use if I have, for instance, something like this. Like an axe that is rusty with paint on there and you want to polish that, you need to get rid of this. That's where I would be using that surface conditioning flap disc in order to clean all that up, remove all that rust and get it ready for the next step. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to use that second step. Again, we go to a unitized wheel, a unitized disc, but softer, not as hard as the one I'd used before. Softer one with a finer grit size in there, just to clean this up, to get rid of that darker coating on there in order to get it ready for polishing. Low speed, absolutely recommendable to avoid overheating. So this already looks pretty nice. So that's the first step. Now the second step is really use the polishing compound. I'm not even going to use a new polishing disc. I'm using the one that I already used a couple of times because they are long lasting. If you treat them with a bit of respect, not too high speed, and they will last very, very long time. Lowest possible speed. Bring on the compound. There we go. Done. And now this. Look at that. This is a mirror finish you have on an axe, and it looks amazing. This gives this nice pattern to it. Absolutely nice finish on that. This is cool looking. I must admit that. I'll be honest. This is cool looking for an axe. So this is a bit more unusual, a little bit more, well, outside of our normal stuff, but this is basically what we have as well as a polishing set that you can use on different kind of stuff to do, like also the unitized wheel I could have used on the sledge as well to clean up or give that even a bit nicer finish than just off the hand pad. So there are possibilities with that kind of a set. I just wanted to show you this one because it's a bit unusual, a bit unique. So we have the materials to prepare your skis for getting ready for the slopes. We have the full set on that, a professional set on that. We have the stuff to clean up your saws. We have the stuff to clean up your sledges. Do some funny things with polishing. So this is basically our Christmas special for 2025. That brings me to the end of this tool school. I would say all the best, a very, very Merry Christmas, absolutely a great new year, healthy new year, a lot of success, a lot of fun as well, a lot of fun for the new year. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next year. And I also thank you very, very much for supporting us, for being us, for watching me, also thanks to the team that is out there. I need to pass on also their wishes to you for the holiday season, and we are looking forward to seeing you next year. Wishing you all the best till next year. Take care. Bye bye.